Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek, the original series, Season 2, Episode 22. It's called By Any Other Name, so full spoilers for the episode as per usual, and we'll get into it. So, yeah, I was a little bit worried early on in this episode.
Yeah, I feel like that's a trend.
Yeah, because they beamed out their planet, and then immediately these people with, I mean, they're not quite godlike, but they have basically a technology that basically gives them a godlike power. They can pause everyone and freeze them.
Yeah.
And we find out they're Calvins from this planet. They're from the Andromeda system, and they came here looking for planets to inhabit and whatnot. But their ship's damaged, so they have to steal the Enterprise for the return trip, which is a 300-year journey.
After they modify it.
After they modify it, and they have to take the crew with them, and they're not giving them much choice, and that's kind of the premise of the episode. Until the second half, where it largely becomes about the crew that are left, because a lot of them get paused, because there's no need to, like, they need some essential crew. They need Kirk, they need Spock, they need Scotty, they need McCoy for their expertise. Everyone else to just pause because
What's Kirk's expertise?
he's a captain. He captains things.
It does. Like I get Bones. You know, it's like, okay, well, we need a doctor. You know, these bodies are, all right, let's figure out in case something goes wrong.
Spock's a science guy.
Yeah.
And then obviously Scotty.
Engineering, of course. You know, that whole thing is retrofitting the ship. That makes sense.
He'll keep them in line because he's the captain.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. He's there for seduction purposes, and that's it.
Basically, yes. Of course, as soon as we see an attractive alien, I'm like, yeah, okay, so Kirk's making out with her by the end of the episode. And sure enough, she's also in particularly skimpy clothing, this one.
Yeah.
Like, she's in this thing, but it has no back. It goes really thin in the middle, then goes up to cover her chest, and then just kind of goes around her neck. It's like a really skimpy outfit. But hey-ho, times and all that. But the episode then kind of becomes about the crew trying to manipulate the fact that in order to come here, they've actually taken human form. They're not normally human looking, and because of that, they're starting to get like emotions and sensations like human beings. So they try to manipulate them into overreacting, getting passionate. So they'll reveal weaknesses, and they can hopefully get to a solution because their magic device that freezes everyone. They want to get to the control panel of that, which actually they kind of drop that whole like need like. They kind of end up solving it just by other means, and it never comes up that they have to disable that again.
Yeah. I guess plans evolve.
They do. It's just kind of weird from a structural point of view. But hey, that's the episode, so I'll ask the question. Connor, did you enjoy By Any Other Name?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
It's okay. Yeah, it's fun. I like the second half a lot more than the first half.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the first half is kind of, we're in power, we can make you do whatever.
There were things in that I did like, where they kill the guy and then rebuild him.
Yeah, obviously they turn a couple of the red shirts to stone and then like smash one of the stones, and that's like, okay, well they're dead, but the other one can come back.
Yeah.
That was a fun idea. The best part of the first half though is kind of the end of the first half where Scotty and Spock have basically rigged the ship to explode on the captain's command, so that they can't actually come back with an army and conquer. Like they'll take themselves out as a sacrifice. And there's a bit of tension, and I mean we know Kirk's not going to give that order, but there's a bit of tension where he might have to give that order, and they're going through, but he ultimately decides not to. That's an interesting moment. That kind of works.
It is, and it plays off nicely as well later when they're going, well, why didn't you? You should have you had the chance. Why didn't you take it?
He just had hope they could work this out, and he was kind of right because ultimately they do work it out. So everyone else gets paused, and then they're together. But the second half, it's when they're really trying to like manipulate the rest of them, and Kirk's trying to seduce the lady, Kalinda, and there's the other guy, the other alien dude, it's basically the red shirt alien, but Scotty basically tries to outdrink him and keeps giving him booze, and the guy's never had booze before, so he thinks it'll be easy, but he's like wasting every drop of booze he has. He has to get the expensive scotch that's all dusty out of his knight's helmet, because of course Scotty has scotch hiding in a knight's helmet.
Hey, play to your stereotypes.
And it's all very comical and farcical. Like he's sort of slurring his words, and there's the happy-go-lucky music's playing, as this is all happening. And Kirk's like, "Oh, I want to apologise for hitting you that one time when we tried to escape when you had us down on the planet." And he kisses her to apologise, and the whole aim is to make her want him and make the main guy Rojan, make him jealous, and that's kind of what happens. And it's all just a kind of farcical little moments, and it's kind of happy-go-lucky. I think this episode continues a trend where the start and the end feel really abrupt. Because there's no scene in the ship. They just sort of arrive on the planet, which, I mean, that doesn't necessarily always have to feel abrupt, but it just immediately they get like the conflict. Some of you are frozen. This is the threat. Happens within seconds.
Like 2.5 minutes is that.
And in the ending, like, they basically say to him, "Hey, we'll accept you as friends if you want to live in our galaxy. Like, that's cool. That planet you were on seemed quite nice. Why don't you go there and we'll help you, and you can be like a diplomat if in case the rest of your race ever show up."
Yeah, they offered, "Hey, come back with us. We'll sort you out a ship. Just you can't have this one." Yeah,
and like, all right, okay, that sounds good. And then everyone smiles and credit comes up. I was like, oh okay, that was quick. We're done.
Yeah.
Because I like their argument. It's like, okay, by the time you get back, like, your civilization's probably changed, so because it's been at least by the time you get back, it'll be 600 years since you left, at the very least. And like, okay, so that's an interesting idea. And like, but it just ends so quickly, and it's like, okay, that's that done.
Yeah, there's a lot of points like when Spock tries to do the mind meld, and it goes badly. He gets a glimpse of what they really are. I think it's huge tentacles, stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, I want to hear about more of that sort of stuff. Go into that, and it never touches on it again.
And yeah, it never does. It's all just sort of humor for them, like manipulating them later, and the guy tasting food for the first time, her liking the kissing and the thinking.
And that's the thing. It's fun. Like, this stuff is pretty good to watch. It's just like, oh, but what if we did all this other stuff? There's so much ideas that could have gone down.
Because at the end, like, Rojan turns to Kalinda. He's like, "Oh, let's try more of this thanking again," or whatever. Like, he's into it. And it's like, it's a happy, funny little moment. It's like, they're into kissing now. Human beings have corrupted this species that seem to be beyond all this bollocks. And it was amusing. I think what's weird about it though is that because we have Spock all the time, kind of doing this gag where he's not human and he doesn't understand how humans work. Having Kalinda make jokes about, you're trying to seduce me, and Kirk's face when she says that's pretty good when she calls him out for what he's trying to do. It's like, yes, love, yes, you humans are obsessed with this. You've devoted much literature to it. Like, and she's like, I'm okay, but that's a very Spock joke. It's a Spock line. Oh, you've devoted too many books to these fleeting fancies, these ideas and romance fantasies you've got.
It's a Spock joke from a season ago.
Yeah.
It was one that they had in the bank that they never used, and now it's like, okay, he's slightly past that point now, so we can't have him say that. So look at that, all those leftover jokes, we can throw them in here.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like that. Not all of it, but the second half of the funny stuff, as much as good fun, it does kind of feel like, here's a lot of old Spock jokes we didn't get to yet.
Pretty much.
Like
I said, they're still fun. They're still good jokes. Just not the most original.
There is, it is funny seeing like Rojan like freak out and start fighting Kirk hand to hand because he's jealous. It is amusing. Yeah. Some obvious stunt work here, stunt doubles. Obviously it's not new for the show, but it specifically jumped out to me as he dived across the table.
It was pretty jarring. I think it's pretty good. It's fun. It's not one I'd ever regret watching. It's definitely not like, this is like a really good solid episode. With the the big boy episodes.
It's one that's not a chore to get through by any means. There's some fun ideas. There's some funny elements. Unfortunately, the most interesting ideas are kind of brought up briefly and never touched upon again. Like you say, the tentacles when Spock sees that in her head, or the actual threat of because that moment with the Kirk might blow up the ship, that's telling us this threat is serious enough that it warrants the sacrifice of the ship and the crew, right?
Yeah.
But the rest of the episode, they don't feel like a threat. It's all jovial comedy. It's like,
even just this is the technology that can get us to another galaxy. The possibilities that you could go down with that. Like, even if it would take 300 years, just the idea of they could go, but this technology, what could we do with it?
Yeah, so ideas, but I think even just the idea of the stakes and the tone shifting
It,
from
it
that,
does
yeah,
shift very
from
jarringly.
from this serious, oh, it's worth sacrificing ourselves over to, hey, kissing joke, like it shifts quite a bit.
Yeah.
And maybe yeah. So, I almost wonder if this is like a lot of unused ideas. I mean, we're joking about unused Spock lines. What if all the ideas are just unused ideas they hadn't used for other episodes, and they threw them all together, and that's why it's kind of like a weird mix of like two episodes.
That, or it's just someone got bored when they were writing it and went, forget that. Let's do this now.
Well, halfway through, it's like, why do something different? Let's just move on.
But I'm on a deadline. It's too late to redo all that, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I noticed after I watched this, I was like, we've not seen a lot of Sulu recently. Like, I know sometimes they rotate in one or two of the crew.
Yeah, it feels like it's been gone for a large portion.
The most of the season, and I actually looked it up, and sure enough, he was missing for a long chunk of the season, and a lot of these lines get given to Chekhov because he's in a very similar, bridge role, so that makes sense. But apparently, he was filming something else for a lot of the time, and that's why he was missing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was just something that occurred to me because obviously we're used to like Sulu and Chekhov and even Uhura and even Scotty to an extent being not there for some episodes. But I was starting to, Sulu's been missing for a while. Like I feel like I've not seen him in ages now.
I felt that last week, but just forgot to mention it.
Aye, but I get credit because you never mentioned it.
Fine. You mentioned it this week. The point is, he's been gone a while.
Yeah, short and sweet. I don't really have much to add on this one.
It's a pretty straightforward episode, really, isn't it?
It is. Like I say, there's interesting ideas in there, but it kind of just abandons them all for some fun. Which, I mean, is fine, but like it takes away the interest in discussion. Last week we went 30 minutes on the on the fascist episode, so I feel inclined to try and aim for a bit higher.
No, this feels like a very safe episode, doesn't it?
Yeah, almost as if to counteract the last one. It's like
it's like here, just have a little bit of light-hearted fun. It's fine. We can do that too.
Yeah, so there you go. That's Star Trek episode 22. So we've got 4 left of the season. 4 left. There's 26 this season. So
yeah, we'll be there in a month.
We're approaching season 3, which not heard good things about. So we'll see how that goes.
That's going to be a slog.
Yeah. Although I am looking forward to that Defiant episode since it's related to what's going on in Discovery right now.
I'm looking forward just to getting past season 3 so I can finally watch the movies.
No, I concur. I'm looking forward to Next Gen, actually.
And that too. Yeah. But I haven't seen any of the movies, so I can look forward to that first.
Yeah. Let us know what you think of this episode in the comments. Like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel and the show, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. There's a link in the description, as well as some other things. But that is us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV, guys, and we'll see you next time.